If you've been waiting for a great welcome offer from Chase to help make your next trip a reality, your time has come. For a limited time on the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you can earn 75,000 bonus points after spending $4,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. Or if you prefer the Sapphire Reserve, this one also has a limited time offer that is identical. 75,000 points with a $4,000 spend requirement within the first 3 months. But although these two offers are identical, the actual value when redeemed can vary a little bit. So let's see these now on the screen side by side. The first part there in blue is the welcome offer itself with no difference, but then moving down a line, we see the value for cashback and travel. So the cashback, which is the first figure, will be $750 either card you get. Does not make any difference here because the points are worth 1 cent each. However, for travel via the Chase Travel Portal, the Sapphire Preferred will give you $937.50 with the potential for being higher via a transfer partner redemption type of method, which we'll talk about later, or with the Sapphire Reserve, it could be up to $1125 at a minimum for travel, or again more via transfer partners. The annual fees are also very different. The Sapphire Preferred at $95 and $0 per each authorized user or AU, and the Sapphire Reserve is at $550 with a charge of $75 per AU. Also allow me to point out here that if you decide to apply in branch, you may see an elevated offer for the Sapphire Preferred of 85,000 points. It might be in a 2-tier spend requirement, so see what the offers are available at your local branch. Also just be prepared to spend maybe 45 minutes to an hour applying. Now, beyond the initial offer, what are the reward structures like long term for these cards? Well, with the Preferred, it has 5 points per dollar on travel and Lyft. The travel must be booked through the actual portal, and Lyft can be booked just directly with Lyft, although that one's for a limited time through March 31st, 2025. You'll then earn triple on dining, including takeout and eligible delivery services, triple on online grocery with some exclusions there on the screen, triple on select streaming, and then for all the travel you book outside of the Chase portal, that will be a double point category. Finally, everything that does not fall into these categories is 1 point per dollar there. Flipping over to the Reserve side, the multipliers are massively increased with several 10 point per dollar categories like hotels, excluding the Edit collection there, also car rentals and Lyft and Chase dining. Both the hotels and car rentals must be done via the Chase portal, as well as your Chase dining bookings. That must be done through your rewards portal too. Lyft again can be done directly. That expires at the end of March 2025. Then we move down to 5 points per dollar on flights, also through the Chase Travel Portal. Then any other travel you book, for example, directly with an airline or hotel, even a third-party travel agency, so non-Chase stuff, that will all be triple points for travel worldwide. Also triple on other dining outside of Chase, so directly with a restaurant, for example, and then 1x on all of your other purchases. That's a lot to digest, I realize, especially with portal versus non-portal, so feel free to pause this a bit longer to take it all in. I'll even color code it for you all, kind of showing where categories overlap either directly or somewhat in a similar way. So the travel's there in yellow, we have Lyft in green, and then the red represents a dining type of category. Then, once you've gotten your big welcome offer and you've started earning points with all these multipliers on top of that, you got a nice stash, you want to redeem them, what are they actually worth? Should you choose the simplest type of travel redemption, which is directly through the Chase Travel Portal, you get guaranteed flat rates for your points. The Preferred gives you 1.25 cents per point, and the Reserve gives you 1.5 cents per point. A second common redemption method is called pay yourself back, which is like cash back, but only in select categories and for a higher rate. So for instance here, you'll do a statement credit after you redeem your points to kind of wipe out your transactions, and the eligible categories may change over time. Right now, as I film this, on the Preferred card, it's 1.25 cents per point for select charities. That expires June 30th, 2024, unless they decide to extend it or change it to something else. On the Reserve side, the charities are actually bumped up to 1.5 cents, which you can see there on the far right, same expiration date, but you also get more options for 1.25 cents. That one includes gas stations, pet supply stores and services, wholesale clubs, and even offsetting your annual fee. Same expiration date of June 30th of 2024. And should you be interested in seeing what the select charity options are, here's a quick screenshot from Chase's website showing the different ones that are eligible to pick. Then for those of you who prefer cash back as a statement credit or even a deposit to a checking account, for example, you get a flat 1 cent per point. So your offer that was for 75,000 points, that's where you derive $750. However, it's the strategic use of transfer partners that allows people to get the highest potential value based on the itinerary that they put together. So what this means is that you take your Chase points and you literally transfer and convert them into air miles or hotels of a different program. Then you have points over in those programs and you use those programs to redeem your points. Once they're out of Chase, it's no longer a Chase type of deal. That means you're then subject to the rules and policies and values of the different point programs. So that's why we don't have a consistent value to give for transfer partner redemptions. It varies widely. We'll put an average value from my point of view of around 1.7 cents per point. Some people may say 2 cents, whatever it is though, it's possible to get way higher values and also lower values. So with so much flexibility there, I'll give you an example in a moment to see how you can get a good one versus a bad one. But for now, here are the transfer partners that Chase offers to you. All of the airlines there are going to be in the turquoise or teal font color, and orange will be the hotels. So some very compelling programs here, even a few domestic transfer partners for airlines and a good handful of international ones too. Now to access the transfer partner feature, you want to log into your Chase account, go to the rewards section, and you'll see menus here at the top. You'll see one called travel. When the menu expands, click on transfer points to partners. That will then lead you to the page where you can click on the partner you want to use and then go through the prompts to move your Chase points into other programs and therefore be converted to a different type of point. All right, cool. So how do you make your points worth so much? Well, it really comes down to just basic math. What's the cash price of a flight or a hotel versus how many points or miles do you have to use to actually cover the cash rate? Of course, the fewer points you have to use to cover a big expense, the more value those points will have at that moment in time. So here's a great example with Singapore Airlines flying business class in one of their nice lay flat type of seats to, of course, be in utmost comfort. As one of hundreds of examples I could show here, here's a flight from Los Angeles all the way to Singapore. You can see two different point options. One is going to be a saver award rate, which is like your discounted on sale type of promotion when you can find those. Otherwise, the more standard rate is going to be there on the right-hand side. So 107,000 KrisFlyer miles in the Singapore program compared to 128,500 KrisFlyer miles. Because the Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer program is a transfer partner of Chase and the ratio is 1-to-1, so literally to get 107,000 miles, you transfer 107,000 Chase points. That's the 1-to-1 ratio. So the ratios don't tell you exactly how much value you get, rather how many points you start with and how many points or miles you end up with in the other program. With that, we have all that we need to calculate the value per point. So the equation will be the cash rate, 47.8260, divided by the redemption rate here in points. So 107,000 points, which is really going to be miles, but that's just a nuance of the word. Take that result, multiply it by 100, and we get 4.47 cents per point with the saver redemption if you're able to find that for your itinerary. In fact, that saver redemption rate is almost exactly 3 times as good of a redemption than if you had just put points directly through Chase at 1.5 cents. If you can't find that for the dates you want, you can go with the standard rate, which is the 128.5K. Even that still gives you 3.72 cents per point. Either way, it blows the 1 cent per point cashback rate, 1.25 cent per point on the preferred, and even 1.5 cent on the reserve. By now, many of you are probably still asking yourself and scratching your heads about, okay, well, if both cards have access to transfer partners and these high redemption rates, why do we have a $95 fee versus a $550 fee? Well, that has to do with the benefits here. So side by side, I've listed them out for you all. Each color is a different line to kind of separate things out a bit. The Chase Sapphire Preferred there in the middle gives you a smaller $50 hotel credit for hotels booked through Chase Travel. It also gives you a small anniversary bonus based on all the spend you put through the card, but issued in points. A handful of other benefits are excluded, represented by the red X. You also have some hotel benefits via a special portal there with Visa. And some partner benefits there listed out for you as well. But there at the bottom, there are no foreign transaction fees on the card, which is awesome, especially given that it is a Visa and it's accepted worldwide. Despite the Sapphire Reserve there on the far right having such a high $550 annual fee, it does come with a $300 travel credit. That does not have to be done through Chase's portal. It can be a flight or hotel booked directly with those sites, and if it's going to be charged to the card, you'll be reimbursed via statement credit for that. It also includes a TSA PreCheck / global entry credit, also including Netsys, just so you're aware. Also some lounge access via Chase's network and also Priority Pass. A couple different hotel programs that give you additional perks like early or late checkout, on-property credits, room upgrades, etc. when they're available. Also some rental car benefits, given that this is a Visa Infinite card, you can enroll in any of those. Some lifestyle benefits, also more partner benefits, which are a bit boosted or elevated over what the Sapphire Preferred gives you. And again, no foreign transaction fees. On the protection front, we also have some fantastic travel insurance. A lot to look over here, so this is one of those screens that you can pause to read if you want to learn more. I just highlighted in yellow a couple of the different things that really are different between the cards, specifically with trip delay and travel accident coverage there as well. Same thing here with the retail protections. Pause this to look over the smaller details like deductibles and such. But the main difference here will be highlighted in yellow with the purchase protection maximum coverage there per claim. Having covered all that, and if I'm still guessing correctly, I bet you still have a few more questions. Like, for example, what cards should I get between these two? Well, here's a few helpful bullet points for the Preferred versus the Reserve. Again, pause this, I won't read them all to you, but as you're going through your thought process to feel like, all right, where do I spend? What do I value? What types of things will help me travel more conveniently or efficiently? These are the types of things that you want to keep in mind. So read these over and see which one resonates with you best. Now, before you go rush to fill out the application and submit it, here are some really crucial points you want to be aware of to pretty much avoid a denial for a really silly reason. The first question here of our Q&A session will be, does the Chase 524 rule apply? I'll keep this answer very short for you. Yes, it does. Sometimes Chase relaxes the rule for some people some of the times based on their circumstances, but generally speaking, I would not count on the rule not applying to you. So proceed forward with the mindset of, yes, this rule is in effect. For anyone unfamiliar with this rule, I'll put a link down in the description below to another video that explains all the details. Next question, does the Chase 48-month rule apply? Yes, it does. You're not eligible for the bonus if you have any Sapphire card open, or if you have received a new card member bonus for any Sapphire card in the past 48 months, so call it 4 years. So for any of you out there who may have the Sapphire Preferred or Reserve and it's been at least 4 years since you've gotten it and you'd like to be eligible for a new offer again and also build out more cards to earn points even faster, consider taking your existing Sapphire card, calling Chase, and asking them to downgrade it to a Freedom Flex or a Freedom Unlimited, for example. Once that conversion takes effect, I'd wait probably a day or two just to make sure that the system refreshes. Then I would feel good about applying for the Sapphire Preferred or Reserve again to bring the card back into my setup with a new offer. And now I have 2 or potentially more Chase cards that can all work together in a nice ecosystem to use the right one for the highest multiplier based on what I'm buying. And lastly, can I combine points with other Chase cards? Yes, you can combine points from all Chase personal and business cards that earn Ultimate Rewards points. So if you'd like to learn more about either of these 2 cards and snag one of the offers before they go away, I will have links down below in the description area for you to check them all out. As I record this video, I have no insights on when the potential expiration date will be, so I would consider acting as soon as you possibly can. After all, summer vacations are right around the corner, and this is a great way to save hundreds on that trip. I'll see you all in the next one.